We're live.
You know, the way you started that, Danger, I thought you were going to fucking start the game.
No, but I will.
Go.
Welcome to the 2016 Week 5 College Game Day. We are in
We're live
Los
in,
Angeles, right?
yeah, we're at the Coliseum.
We're at the Coliseum for Notre Dame at USC. I'm Danger Zone.
I'm
He doesn't
Danger
coach
Zone.
anything.
I'm LDO, coach of the Tennessee Volunteers.
I'm Bitch Pudding, Chicago 10-1, head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, 2015 national champion.
And this is College Game Day. We're going to start by going back through the top 25 this week.
And we will interrupt once the evening games are posted.
Of course. And the first one is North Carolina Tar Heels. They played Kansas this week in the morning games.
And I think this game was more about Kansas than about...
Wait, I think there's an error in that game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the record, if that wasn't fixed.
Oh, yeah.
USC is... No, he fixed it, never mind.
Yeah, they're 2-2.
There you go. Anyway, so it was a morning game, you said, right? I'm getting that open.
Yeah, it's on the morning.
Yeah, it's morning game. North Carolina won 35-17, and it was pretty dominant. But you look at it, and I know Storm was talking about this. It is probably the best defensively game he's played and offensively, but just turnovers is what ended up doing Kansas in. They got a bunch of points off of turnovers for North Carolina. They had a pick six. They had a fumble that scored a minute later. So its game wasn't as lopsided as the score looks. Actually, they got 21 points off turnovers, a pick six, a blocked punt return for a touchdown, and then a fumble that they turned into a touchdown. So it wasn't as lopsided as the score looks, but North Carolina did roll in this game.
Like I said, I think it was more about Kansas personally. A really decent Kansas team with a great coach and Storm Stoppers now sitting at 0-4.
Yeah, that's surprising, especially when you look at who they have as their playmakers with DeAndre Jackson and Paul Gibbs.
And the question is, where do you go from here?
Paul Gibbs has been really underwhelming so far this season. I mean, he's sitting at about 4 yards per carry, 200 rushing yards on the season. That was before this week's game. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's a 5 out of 5 running back, is he?
He is a 5 of 5. He just hasn't lived up to what James Otero did in 2014 for Kansas, and he's always just not looked as good. I mean, he hasn't looked like a 5 of 5 in his performances.
And honestly, next week doesn't really... I mean, there's not... It's a tough game next week, too, in my opinion.
Who do they play?
Who are they playing?
Georgia Tech.
No, Texas Tech.
Oh, Texas Tech. Yeah, that is a tough game.
It's a tough game, but I think Stormstopper can get his first victory.
I think
Tech has been underwhelming this season.
Yeah, their offense, they haven't had an offense. It's been all defense for them. And they're going to suffocate the running game for Kansas, and that's what they rely on. But
Kansas might get a reprieve the next week playing Duke. I think they can beat Duke fairly easily.
But it's going to be difficult for them.
Well, now that I think about it, if it's a defensive team, this is a North Carolina team that put up, what did you say, 21 points off turnovers?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they certainly can't do that again. Even if Texas Tech doesn't have an offense, if that defense can take it back to the house in Kansas, it's going to be certainly in trouble.
Yeah, it's not good for them, but that's a winnable game. This week was a winnable game too.
I could honestly see Kansas only winning 3, maybe 4 games this year.
Yeah,
which would be a shame.
It would be. But let's talk about North Carolina for a second. They are the ranked team in this game, and they took care of business. Starting off 1-2 with a couple of wins, or a couple of. They had a good game against Texas, and they beat Michigan State, but they haven't been great to this point in the season, and they put it on them. Even though a lot of it was points off of turnovers, they did put it on them, and they had a good win. A.J. Jefferson didn't throw an interception. Overall, just a good performance.
Where do you guys think? Do you think this North Carolina team can go to the ACC championship?
I think they can win the ACC. I mean, who else is strong in the ACC this year?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
If Florida State's finally figured it out, remember all their losses are non-conference.
Yeah, I think Florida State's probably still. If I were to pick a team, that's who I would take.
I think y'all are forgetting the only team that's 2-0 in the Coastal.
You have Georgia Tech too.
What a surprise! Trey's talking Georgia Tech.
And no, I do think Georgia Tech's the only team that has a chance to win the ACC, but I think North Carolina has a better shot, and I think they'll end up winning it. But it's them or...
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh does, too.
Yeah, Pittsburgh does. Virginia Tech, I want to see them play a good team. I just don't know about
Virginia Tech yet. I just don't feel like they've been tested yet.
Yeah, Virginia Tech hasn't really faced a good team yet, so it's a lot.
They'll lose.
Their first test is really Pittsburgh. Outside of that, there's not much in the ACC this year, unless, am I forgetting someone?
Clemson might be okay.
Clemson could, but I don't think they're going to make a run.
NC State's sitting at 3-0, but I don't think they've been tested.
No, they're not. They lost
they're
to
not
Auburn today.
They lost.
Oh, shit, yeah.
But 1-0 in conference play. Who was that conference opponent? Who have played?
I do not know. Let me see if they have a scheduled date on the wiki.
But, well, talking about that.
I say Georgia Tech are sitting at 2-0 in conference play over their first 4 games.
Right. Okay, so our next game, while they look up that, is
Michigan State versus Rutgers.
Michigan State Rutgers, and that's a shitty game from both teams. I mean, give Rutgers some credit because they're not as good as Michigan State, and they stepped up and played a good game. They threw the ball 9 times, which is between the two quarterbacks, there were 24 attempts.
You know what?
24 passing attempts.
You want to give Rutgers credit here, but going into halftime with a 24-10 lead and then fucking blowing it like that, you can't give them any credit.
Oh, my God.
Charles Watkins did a really good job running the ball as well. 6 yards of carry, pretty much. 2 touchdowns.
Joseph Bernard going 5 for 9 with 43 yards and an interception.
And there were, like I said, there were 24 passing attempts combined between the two teams.
I mean, look at it this way, guys.
Compared to 57 rushing attempts.
Look at it this way, guys. If Ewan McDonald didn't miss the field goal with 5:15 left to go in the third quarter, this game could have been tied up and gone to overtime, and who knows what would have happened then.
Rutgers would have lost in overtime because they choked away the entire second half.
Yeah, they just lost. They lost all momentum.
Know that.
They lost all momentum before in the game. It's just, and yeah, Ewan McDonald had the missed field goal, which killed him, and it wasn't impressive by Michigan State. This might knock them out of the top 25.
They won, so I doubt it. It depends on who's below them.
Yeah, but it's an ugly performance, and North Carolina's below them. They won. You have someone like Georgia Tech who might jump in, Auburn who might steal a bunch of votes.
Evening games.
Evening games are up.
Games.
Let's see if there's any.
Please.
First, I'm going to my game.
First, I'm going to Tennessee. Tennessee won.
Oh,
thank God for that. I can't load them up quick enough.
What happened? Oh, shit.
You only had 3 touchdown passes.
Who?
Oklahoma.
Oh.
Holy shit. Well. Robert Martin for Colorado State. Look at that.
Wait.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
I already played him.
39 of 55 for 528 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did North Texas accidentally play the run here?
They might have.
No, that's how Jamie Avery put up those yards on. I think it was Pitt or I think last
Virginia.
No,
maybe North Texas forgot to set a game plan.
Jeremy Scarborough.
Did we play a run-heavy team last week, North Texas? Who did we play last week?
I know.
Because they might have forgotten to set a game plan and might have got a previous week's game plan.
Oh, man. Ted, what happened?
What happened was Baylor scheme changed to play the run, and I played the pass.
Okay. Yeah, they ran like an option or some shit. But you still put
That
40
has to
on.
be an option. With
Ty Miller hadn't had a touchdown to this point in the season.
He finally had 2. Yeah, that's because I threw it late. I threw it. I think I no I didn't. Never mind. I'm trying to remember what I game
in post,
planned.
we'll get back to going through the top 25. Don't worry. And you're just taking a look at these games.
What's happened to Adrian Jankowski? He did not show up on the Texas A&M receiving list at all.
Wow, that's kind
Not
of
sure what
surprising.
the hell is going on there.
Didn't BYU make the playoffs last year?
BYU did make the playoffs last year.
They're sitting at 1-4 now.
Who did they lose to?
I mean, they lost to Cincinnati.
Oh, that's not a good loss. Like,
At home. They were.
How did Air Force score 11?
Wait, let's figure this out.
missed a 2-point conversion.
Ah, there we go.
Okay.
And
So no
that's-
safety, touchdown, no 2-point conversion, field goal.
New Mexico beat up on Hawaii. That's kind of sad.
Wasn't
Yeah,
Hawaii ranked last year?
Hawaii was good last year.
Hawaii is good with Charlie Walter, but he's an injury risk.
They really need to run Bass Van Dyke more.
I want to point out that I went pass heavy on Baylor, and Sean Egloff still managed to get 3 fucking touchdowns. And I don't really know who Corey Hendricks is. I'm gonna have to relook him up. He's either my
he's your
fullback or he's my
fullback.
backup running back.
He's got to be your fullback. Because you didn't take your running back out, did you?
No, but I guess it didn't get to blow off classification. Well, I don't know. It was 42.
No, it did because you have Baylor. Who is Charles Gibbons for Baylor? He just made Sean Bell look like a bitch.
Now I gotta look him up.
I feel certain that Baylor was running an option of some type here with 3 players having significant carries.
Sean Bell is not a good running back. I mean, I get it, he's a freshman, but Jesus Christ.
Give him some
Do
time.
you guys think that he might have? Do you guys think he might have run Wildcat too?
He needs to.
Is the option not part of the game plan anymore?
I think that Sean Bell wants to fast forward to 2017 because
All right, I'm bringing up the Baylor depth chart.
Yeah. I mean, he's from New York and he's playing in Texas at a Baptist school.
Charles Givens is the backup running back, 4 of 4.
Oh, that's not surprising, but he might have stolen the starting spot.
And who's Corey Hendricks on your team?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me look that up.
He's your fullback.
Probably my fullback. I don't pay attention to my fullback.
All right. But after that, you want to start going back to the top 25 and finish that up before
there wasn't really anything else. Corey Hendricks
TCU,
is my number 1 fullback.
TCU at Kansas State.
Yeah, that's our next game. Yeah, I won that game. I mean,
It was a standard Thursday night game.
it was a Thursday night game. I was a little disappointed. Burden threw 2 interceptions, but I mean, I can't complain much. He was efficient through the air, 14 of 20, 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Bradley Cooley was as reliable as he has been.
Bradley Cooley has been great. The only time he hasn't hit 100 yards this season was when he got injured against Tennessee. Jamel Beckham caught another touchdown. Andrew Herman is my 4th-string wide receiver and has 3 touchdowns on the season. And just a good game overall. I mean, there's not much to talk about here. I was a better team than Kansas State, and that's what showed. But I am excited because now I have 3 wins. I only need 3 more to make a bowl.
Same here.
And I think it might actually happen this year for one of you two.
Wow.
No, maybe both.
I don't know.
Same here.
Imagine a TCU Georgia Tech bowl game.
The Bengals bowl.
We would have to buy it and call it the Homer Bowl.
Oh man, but no, I'm excited. I think it's a good performance overall. So not disappointed.
TCU has a better path to a bowl game because Georgia Tech's schedule, you're gonna hit a buzzsaw before you get that 6th win.
Yeah.
We on
And it's a pretty big buzzsaw.
I think we hit a buzzsaw before we get our 4th win, to be honest.
Yeah. We'll see.
At Washington, next 3 games are at Washington, at North Carolina, at Clemson.
Yeah, those are going to be 3 losses. You might win at Clemson.
Yeah, you might win at Clemson. That's the only one I could see. If you win 2 of those 3, though, you'll jump in the top 25 because I mean, those are three good teams.
He wins one of
especially-
those three before he loses. If he wins this first one against Washington, he goes top 25.
It goes top 15. I mean, like, that's a huge win. But I don't see it.
I wouldn't move him from like 27th to 15th over.
Well, I
I'd
honestly
say
feel like
after
I might
25.
sneak into the bottom of the top 25 this week.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, next one, Houston Cougars. Another Thursday night game.
They lost, if I remember correctly.
They played at Utah and lost 23-14. Wow.
Joel King. Not
Joel
looking
King did not
like
look
his
good.
usual self. I swear to God, Joel King does best when he has no coach. I think he's this sort of like guy.
He is the coach. Like,
Yeah, when he's asked to do something that isn't of his own plan, then he does bad. But when he's able to just do everything himself, he turns into a great quarterback.
Yeah, that's basically Joel King as. I mean, yeah, Utah with an 8.0 offensive line. That's impressive, and they just kind of dominated. Well, it was close going into the fourth quarter. It was 14-20, but Utah put it away with a field goal, went up by 9, and it was over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good performance, especially coming off of beating up Boise State. They are running through those AAC and Mountain West
He seems
teams.
to have figured this out.
Yeah, Sleuth of Bears turned this team around, and they might make some noise in the pack, but I'd like to see them beat an actual pack school. But, you know, those two impressive wins over top 25 teams.
I don't think Utah had really good possession of the ball as well. Like, I don't think Houston had the ball that much. I mean, outside of once they took the ball away, they had effective running game, and I think they.
There were more plays run for Utah by a pretty good margin on this line than for Houston. Yeah, Philip Moore had 8 tackles himself. There's not much to say about this, but Houston is not looking like they used to. I mean, they look vulnerable right now, especially after playing Utah team that most people didn't think too highly of.
Well, now people have to think highly of them. There's no escaping it. They beat Boise State and then they beat Houston.
Yeah. All right. Can you post the game day link like in a status update or something? So everyone can see it?
Next game is Utah State at Virginia Tech. No, Purdue versus Nebraska.
Gameday.
Yeah. Purdue.
I have it written down. I'm not sure how I thought that up, but there we go.
What game?
I'm probably gonna go with Purdue in here. I like Nebraska. I think Nebraska is a good team, and if Sean Hamilton gets hot and plays like a 5, I could definitely see Nebraska winning this game. But I think Purdue pulls out. I think Corey Mendoza right now is the Heisman favorite. This Purdue team has one of the best offenses in college football, if not the best. If they can find a way to slow down Nebraska, I don't see Nebraska keeping up.
See, it's a battle of two teams who don't know how to close out games. Purdue always blows a halftime lead, and Nebraska just doesn't seem to pull it out in overtime, so it's really difficult. If this game goes to overtime, then Purdue wins it. But if it stays in the regular 4 quarters, I think Nebraska could pull it out, solely on the fact that these two coaches are typecast into those roles. Purdue's the better team, but even when Purdue's the better team, they manage to blow a halftime lead.
To be fair, the only time they've done that this year is when they're playing a team who is better than them in Notre Dame.
But, I mean...
They still blew the lead, though.
I love Inspiral, but that's just the motto of his team. If we're up at halftime, go choke it away.
I really want to know what kind of halftime speeches he gives them in there. Is it like,
I bet he doesn't. I bet he
rest,
just like
rest on your laurels
or something.
Rest on your laurels. We already won.
Go out there and start kneeling the ball so you don't get injured. Remember, if you're injured, you have to fall back on your education.
No, with Inspiral, it's like, all right, we're up. Let's go talk some shit.
I mean, Nebraska
Guys, remember Todd Lester, the Holiday Bowl? Coach, what are you talking about? Yeah, Todd Lester was shit. Go out there and play.
Nebraska,
Yeah.
has a decent sort of linebacking core and secondary, so I'm hoping that they can deal with Corey Mendoza. I wouldn't be against if the stool came and wrecked Corey Mendoza's ACLs. That wouldn't upset me.
I forgot that you hate him.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope that Jim Dupree or the strong safety Edwin Ruiz completely fucks Purdue's day up. So I'm going to go with Nebraska.
They hooks him up.
Yeah, fucks Purdue's day up. Fuck the Boilermakers.
But all right, next one, Virginia Tech, and they played in the mornings. Utah State at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech ranked number 20 because they have played nobody. And to their credit, they've beaten the shit out of nobody, but they've played nobody.
I mean, I can punch the air too and beat the shit out of nobody. It doesn't make me a boxing contender for the heavyweight.
Now but they played some good. Holy shit! You look at the rushing for Virginia Tech. They had 3 players make the rushing stat line: 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Utah State had 2 players with negative rushing yards.
Oh my god!
This is just a dominant performance by Virginia Tech, and it should be because Utah State isn't at that level, and they dominated this game. It wasn't close, but
apparently Boilermakers is a new LDOism.
I'm confused how you even pronounce that word.
Boilermaker.
Boilermaker.
No, I know it's Boilermakers.
Is it
That's what I
Boilermaker?
said.
You say it enough and you start to believe it's not a real word anymore.
Boilermaker. They make boilers. That's what they do.
They're engineers, aren't they, apparently? I don't know.
Yeah, they make boilers. All right, but there's not much to say about Virginia Tech when they're playing a shitty team like they are.
Yeah.
Their next game is probably their toughest test so far, and it's Navy. Like, that's basically how their schedule's been so far. And then they have Pittsburgh. So
Pittsburgh's gonna fuck them up and knock them straight out of the rankings.
we'll see. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh's a better team so far.
Who's the Virginia Tech coach?
Do they have one?
I'm guessing so. I presume so.
I know everybody has a coach, but I've never seen a forum posting since Polar, really.
No, Hi There was the Virginia Tech coach for a while, but
Yeah, I forgot about him.
yeah, I'm not sure who
Has
it
there
is.
been anybody since Hi There?
Um,
Do we have a list?
High Bears now the Florida Gators, as I'm
I don't know because I used to when I was when I was in charge, I kept a list of all the coaches in the sub forum, but the current person in charge isn't doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Shut the fuck up. This is not your time to pander to be the ACC
Alright.
conference commissioner.
I'm just saying.
all right.
You also
We know
missed-
you're just
you also
saying.
missed an application.
Okay, Florida versus Nevada.
You also missed an application.
Florida won, but Nevada had a first quarter lead, so we should probably not vote them into the top 25.
No, that's actually kind of surprising. I was scrolling down and I saw, holy shit, Nevada with a 14-3 lead in the first quarter, but Florida did Florida. Yancey, Musgrave, and then
Did you say Musgraved? Is that a thing now?
apparently, and Lionel Alford had 3 touchdowns on 12 carries.
To Musgrave is to be a punk bitch. That's what to Musgrave means.
But it turned out to be a blowout in favor of Florida, but it didn't look like that early. This shouldn't drop Florida in the rankings. I mean, they did win.
But it's going to because Impost's a bad coach.
No, I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he talks a lot of shit and tries really hard to stir shit up. But I don't think
He's not such a bad coach now that he's latched onto Rabid, but I'm still saying he shared his game plan with his opponent. He's never going to live that one down.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think Florida, they're still 4-0. I mean, they're undefeated. And maybe they can make some noise in the SEC this year. I think they need to find a little more balance on offense first. But They could be scary.
I assume we're laughing at the
Yeah.
punching puppies ad
Yep,
thing.
yep, that's exactly what you're laughing at.
Wait, what?
Oh god.
I love
I'll pay for that ad if you do it, Trey.
I love Abraham Weir's one catch, 7 yards for a touchdown. One catch the entire game, but he made it count. But Florida, they're looking kind of scary if Post can get together. They have a lot of talent, but I'm not sure.
Did you know that Abraham Weir scored 50 coach trust for that touchdown?
I don't know what that means.
Road to glory.
Okay.
It's an NCAA thing.
All right.
If any of you don't have it, it's like $3.74 right now on the Xbox Live Market.
What is?
NCAA 15.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that just means you have to
I
get an
paid like
Xbox.
Or 14 or whatever the newest one is.
You have to get an Xbox to get that. Next
Okay.
game, Ohio State at Maryland.
Ohio State sucks.
And we shouldn't give Dean too much shit for this
Yeah, we
because
Yes, we should.
State sucks.
I don't think Ohio State is that good of a team this year, but wow.
Maryland's not usually that good of a team either, so
Yeah,
I mean, they're
Maryland-
still
Maryland
losing to Maryland
Yeah,
with a 6.1 offensive line rating.
yeah.
They
Steve,
still forced 2 fumbles and an interception.
Steve Nash beat the shit out of their line. Had a
Ohio State have a really solid defense as well. So I mean, there's not really any excuse, I don't think, for conceding.
Well, I mean, in defense of their defense, they did only let up about 14 points here. The other 15 or whatever it is came from,
Yeah.
or you know what? I guess it doesn't count field goals.
They
But
had
still,
a fumble recovery for touchdowns.
a fumble recovery that led to a field goal, and then the interception that led to the touchdown.
Like they had a lot of points off turnover.
That's pretty much that's 17 points off turnovers right there.
I was gonna say, I was just gonna preface that by saying that I actually looked at the score.
I don't know. I just feel Maryland dominated with David Lane and Stephen Nash, and I just feel this might be a byproduct of Coach Dean
Steve
Craig
Nash,
Felton losing his smile, just kind of giving
David-
up.
Their defensive line, Steve Nash is a defensive end, and David Lane is a defensive tackle. Just bulldozed that Ohio State offensive line.
Pushing him around. And I mean, and the offensive line did get a 7.5 after all of that.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you
Steve Nash
wonder.
is only a 3.5 or 3.5. Dude must have had the game of his life.
What do you think Coach Craig Felton said to him at halftime?
Like, he's more worried about a girl than he was about the game.
He was using the whiteboard to write down where she sits, where he sits, and what he could possibly do to get her to like him.
Like, all right, guys, I need your help with this. So I was thinking about going
Coach,
over
we're playing a game against Maryland. We're losing. We needed inspiration, but I need this girl. So, you guys are gonna take a back seat here.
Right. Okay. Let's.
LDO just wants to move on now. Next game.
Wisconsin versus Illinois. I'm not sure what that is.
Is that a?
I think that's an afternoon game.
Yeah, it is afternoon. I think it was a Wisconsin route.
Wisconsin, Illinois. Wisconsin took care of business, 28-14.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty by them. The game was slowed kind of by Illinois on the ground. But the lawyer had 2 touchdowns. Asante Sowell had Sewell, whatever, had a touchdown, and Wisconsin won.
Illinois did try. They did force the turnovers, and they tried, but they just couldn't. They couldn't keep up with Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's basically a relatively low offensive line rating for Wisconsin with an 8.1.
I don't know if you call that low. That's pretty fucking.
Well, relatively compared to what Wisconsin's been doing. They've had 9s so far, but yeah, it's Not a great performance, but it's not going to kill them. They still won by 2 touchdowns, and one they were up 3 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter. So, yeah, a good performance.
I mean, if you're a
Pretty,
Wisconsin fan, you're not ecstatic, but you're happy you didn't lose.
yeah,
And if
you're
you're a
like,
fan of any other team, you just don't really give a shit.
yeah, that's kind of what happened here. You're like, huh.
Boring ass Big Ten football right here.
Yeah. All right.
Trey, LDO, do you have anything to say about this one?
No, I think y'all covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then.
What about who did Michigan play this week?
No, and they had a bye.
Michigan has a bye.
They're on a bye.
UCLA at Minnesota.
That's a night game.
It'd be a night game, I imagine. Yeah.
I am definitely taking UCLA in this. I'm sorry, Bingo, but Minnesota just hasn't been impressive to this point in the season.
Hasn't been good this season.
They haven't been very
impressive.
good.
They haven't even been good.
UCLA is finally looking like they might be okay, back to where they were in 2013, but haven't reached since. So I think they could be up there. With UCLA's later in the season, I think they're going to win this game by a couple touchdowns. I don't see Minnesota as being good enough to keep it close, but they could stand up and surprise me. I think Bingo's a good coach, and I think he can put something together, but I think UCLA is just a better team and has been outperforming Minnesota to this point in the season.
UCLA also have Josh Shanko, who's 6'2", 221. He's a big back, and I think he's on 6.6 yards a carry so far this season.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so he's a big guy. Red shirt sophomore.
Running back?
Yeah.
Yeah, between him and Ken Eller, their offense has been pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, for the facts you all have stated, I'm just going to take UCLA over Minnesota. Just doesn't seem like their season.
They just seem to have a really balanced team, like across the board. UCLA, and it's a good
Which is
team
really
as well.
strange, because who was their coach after E-Weebs left?
They really haven't had one much.
They
They
just
had
had a roster like fostering away, like waiting to explode. It seems. We've got a really balanced roster. I mean, there's no one below a 3 who's starting, or a 3 point. Yeah, there's no one below a 3, and that 3 is a fullback. Everyone apart from that is at least 3.5, and most of them are 4s. So I mean, it's a really good team.
Yep.
So,
UCLA.
yeah, I'm probably going to take UCLA. Yeah.
And you look at Minnesota, who has a loss to SMU. If
you lose to SMU, you might as well shut down your entire season.
I mean, I'm not saying SMU's bad, but
I am.
I can't say they're bad because I play them next week. But
You're gonna beat them. I mean,
well, yeah, but I can't
we
talk.
can discuss that next week.
Yeah.
I'm saying SMU is bad, and if Time doesn't like it, he can come at me.
I'm taking UCLA for the game because there's just too much quality on that roster. There's just way too much quality on that roster to overcome, I think.
Yeah, UCLA.
All right, next one on the list is Georgia. Who do they play?
Georgia
We
at
just played
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt in the morning game.
Oh, they did? Oh, that was an ugly game. I remember that. But they won. It was a victory for the Bulldogs. I'm looking at the score right now, and they won.
Franz, I mean, this isn't surprising because Franz had, close games against division opponents last season as well. I think his games at Vanderbilt and Kentucky were both decided by, less than 3 points. So I think when it comes to SEC division games, it's usually a lot more competitive.
I'm starting to wonder why all of Georgia's games are played really close, nitty-gritty. I mean, Vanderbilt took an interception and had a chance at the end.
I think they played to the level of their opponent. I mean, even Missouri, they took them to overtime or last second, I think. And they played TCU. They played them right to the end. They played Vanderbilt right to the end. I think they're kind of team who plays up or down to their opponent. So that's how they've been all year. They're going to play a bunch of close games, but they're still a good team. They're going to beat some good teams this year.
Is it a player problem, or do you think it's a coach problem, where they play to the level of their opponent? because obviously it's something that they probably want to avoid with the loss to the Missouri, and they very well could have lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had that interception, but it seemed like it
Yeah,
was.
they're a couple plays away from being, 2-3 right now?
I feel like that. I just feel like Franz, like he's won so much in the same way that it's not like a fluke anymore. It is just the fact that he just plays teams close, but he always seems to win. So I don't think it's necessarily luck or anything. I think he just never really plays.
I can agree with that.
He's just done it too much. Like he's played close games but won too much for it to just be fluke, I think.
Before we move on, shout out to Empress of Orange who just signed up to the site.
We'll see how that goes.
Not very well, but okay.
Time online less than 1 minute, and she's
Trey, stay away from her, please, for the love of God.
Hey, shut up.
I'm calling you out on
Don't
your
even bring
Just
it up.
fucking
Don't
stay
even bring
away
it
from
up.
her.
Don't bring it up.
I already brought it up. It's too late.
Oklahoma at Baylor.
That was a fun game. Let's recap that one.
49 to
49 to 21.
21. Oh wow, they put up 21.
They put up 21 because they did the same thing you did last season, and they scheme changed to get their running backs more involved while I played the pass and didn't really care because I wanted to see how many times I could pick off Jason Vick because I knew even if they ran all over me, they weren't going to outscore North Berkshire. And shout out to Sean Egloff, only getting 16 touches, but making him count for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns, even though I was playing the pass heavy.
Yeah, you add North Berkshire. Let's just calculate his passer rating for that game. 22 of 29 for 328 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I bet you use the same site that I used, didn't you?
I'm computing. He had a quarterback rating of 205.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Wait, what are his stats?
22 of 29 for 328, 3 touchdowns. And that is still lower than Corey Mendoza's season quarterback rating.
God damn it, you love Corey Mendoza.
Yeah, he kind of got Corey Mendoza's dick in his mouth right now.
I'm putting that into perspective. Like, holy shit. That is a damn good game by any quarterback.
Calculating, he had a 302 quarterback rating if you're going by NCAA formula.
NCAA?
Oh, no, he didn't. No, No,
But
I'm pretty happy with the balance of my team right now, I'm not going to lie. Sean Egloff was a great pickup in the first round of recruiting.
Swap round attempts and completions. he had 29 completions on 22 attempts. That's how good North Berkshire was.
He is a god, I'm telling you. He had almost 400. No, he didn't. He had over 300. I can't read from back here. I was gonna say he almost had 400 yards, but he didn't.
And then you have Ty Miller catching his first and second touchdowns of the season.
It's about time he finally worked his way into the mix.
One of them was a 73-yard touchdown catch.
That's fucking beautiful.
That counts for most of his yards, but still.
Saluna says that Danger has a naked picture of Corey Mendoza on a poster behind his computer.
I wish.
And Jumbo wants to know if there's a link for game day, so don't tell him that I was talking bad about him.
Somebody else posted. They're throwing a fit because I posted on Spoiler, and I'm just not posting a spoiler in the back.
Someone posted in the status update.
Yeah, post in the status update. Someone. Trey.
I don't do status updates. Someone else do it.
I can't do it because it's on the laptop. Someone else do it. Oh my god. Trey, what?
Yeah.
And then Trey did it this time.
I should not have believed that TCTY actually posted. Like, I'd assumed the link in the status updates that he says was the game day link was the game day link, and it wasn't.
God damn it, Trey! Somebody else put up the game day link.
I should not have believed him.
Okay, next is Pitt. Have they do that down?
Pitt's in the night. Is Pitt? Pitt played Virginia in the morning games.
Okay.
It was ugly, but Pitt got the victory. Thanks to Bob Dowler throwing 3 fucking interceptions.
Oh man, are they playing Virginia? Oh man.
It was the field goal. Let me just read it off. Stanley Brewster field goal. Stanley Brewster field goal. Joey Johnson interception return for touchdown for Pitt. Asher Livingston field goal. Kevin Jackson interception. Stuart Cook interception. Michael Hunter interception. Stanley Brewster field goal. Pitt wins 16-3 in probably a matchup where if you went to watch it live, you would ask for your money back.
I just want to say there were more interceptions in this game than Virginia had rushing attempts, or the same amount. There are 4 interceptions, 4 rushing attempts for Virginia. Negative 2 yards rushing for the game. Like, shit. 61 passes. Between the two quarterbacks, there were 106 pass attempts and no touchdowns.
Did anybody seriously... fucking people.
106 pass attempts, no touchdowns. Like, it just was ugly, stupid football.
That was like Auburn, Mississippi State standards, but there's more scoring.
Yeah, someone post that link in a
UBL beat me, but we both posted.
status update. But
So folks.
So are we done talking about Pitt?
I just
Jumbo,
imagine this
love
game
you,
as
but this
being
game
like.
is fucking awful.
I just imagine this game as like tons and tons of just inaccurate passes. No rushing.
See, this is the James Dale we know and love, guys. He's just lucky he came out against fucking Virginia.
both teams had 4 men in the box the entire game. Like,
It's like both coaches just like the first team is just take time off.
Saluna says, what's harder, Trey's remaining schedule or danger for Corey Mendoza?
Danger for Corey Mendoza.
oh, yeah. I'm all over Corey Mendoza, though.
He wants to get up in that ass, no lie.
He's my Heisman favorite at the moment. He's had an absurd season
Did you
so
nickname your dick Heisman?
No.
My Heisman face. I mean, my Heisman face.
All right. Yeah, but Pitt's defense showed up against the ugly Virginia team.
Yeah,
James
so
Dale-
let's move on. This is the James Dale we know and love, and Jumbo better hope he doesn't come out again because he's lucky he was only playing Pitt
Oh my fucking
or
God.
playing Virginia. Fuck me.
Arizona versus Colorado, please.
All right, Arizona.
That's a night game, which I don't know how the fuck that made it to a night game. I love Neo.
Neo even said earlier in the shout box that he's not sure how it was a night game.
Because
Alright,
when they
that
schedule it,
game's
they
a
schedule
game.
some night games as good games, and they just put the West Coast games in there too, so it's realistic.
Trey,
Alright.
what the fuck are you doing?
What is
All
that?
right, question. Does Colorado have a chance?
No, absolutely not. They have a better chance than they would have with Rome coaching, but they still don't have a chance.
They're not even at home. This is literally just.
But
This is,
to be fair,
this
I
is
don't-
that like gladiator game that happens.
This is
You know, where you just-
Arizona's closest game to a bye they're ever gonna have.
I don't think Arizona has beaten Colorado before. Like, that's kind of been a sticking
This
point.
is a different Arizona team though. This is a very
Sure.
talented Arizona squad going up against a unrecruited Colorado. I mean, Rome didn't recruit very well while he was there, and then he left.
Wow, that's harsh, but
This is just another one of those like gladiator style games. Like Colorado, a bunch of slaves taken by the Roman armies who've been sold to rich people and been chucked in the Colosseum with
no,
Arizona.
I think
Arizona are just gonna
it'll be a little
destroy
closer
them.
than y'all expect. I think I see David Medley having a bigger game as a defensive tackle. Which
Has
is,
David Medley ever had a good game since Rome left?
No, I'm gonna say David Medley's been underwhelming. He might be one of those guys who's actually really good, but he's like never had a coach. So when it comes to like the NFL Combine,
how do you
like a
coach
4-5 at like he'll run like 4-5 at like.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say Arizona wins by more than 14. I think it's gonna be 17 or higher
I
victory.
think they'll win about 17. But
That's how you exercise a demon. You just go out there and you blow the fuck out of Colorado.
I think it'll be closer at halftime, but third and fourth quarter, Arizona will pull away, win by 2-3 touchdowns.
Ask Inspiral if the game matters at halftime.
No, but I'm thinking of a team closer than it would.
I think Taylor Rodriguez is just shaking in excitement right now. That's what I think.
I think Diego is shaking in excitement. He can finally exercise the demon of Colorado.
Yeah, that's. But They have a coach. I'm not sure who it is. I don't know his name.
Colorado? I've never seen him post. If they don't post, I can't know who they are.
But we'll see if he can pull some magic.
I haven't seen the Buffalo since fucking Rome was posting with it.
Next team, Texas A&M played in College Station against Mississippi State.
Who's playing against Mississippi State?
Texas A&M.
Oh, right, that game already happened.
Yeah, they had the Mississippi State chance that didn't pan out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that term.
When was this game played?
It was played in the
afternoon, I think.
Evening games, actually.
Was it the evening games? I'm an idiot.
Maddie Swift had fucking 305 yards, 3 touchdowns, interception. Neither team really ran the ball well.
Adrian Jankowski hasn't been like the difference maker that he was last season. He doesn't seem to be showing up on the stat sheet at all, which I find really weird. Alex Gash, I think, is the tight end, probably. I want to say he's a tight end.
He had a good game. Both teams went pretty pass heavy. Mississippi State had a little more balance, but I think the best quarterback won in this game. Maddie Swift is a damn good quarterback, and his 3 touchdowns in the air were all that Texas A&M needed to beat Mississippi State 21-10. Mississippi State's got a good team. They have a chance to surprise some people, as is Mississippi State tradition, but they wasn't to be against Texas A&M. I honestly have Texas A&M as a top 5 team in my poll. I think they're one of the better teams in the nation. I think they're going to scare. I think they could win the SEC this year.
You think it's finally their turn?
I think they're going to win the SEC this year. That's my prediction. Based on the way they're playing right now and how good Maddie Swift is, Texas A&M right now is my favorite. They are a scary team, especially on offense, and I have to play them, and I'm not excited about it.
Maddie Swift is still only a 4 out of 5. Hasn't reached his final form yet.
Yeah, he was
sophomore.
He was a 2013 recruit.
Yeah, he was a 2 out of 5 freshman last season, I think. And
yeah. You think he'll declare early after next season if he's a 5-5 redshirt?
I think so.
It depends on how. I like to believe it depends on the accomplishments he makes. If he wins the SEC this season or next, then there's a good chance he does declare.
Yeah, we'll see.
For him to win the ACC since he's in the SEC.
Because remember, Jarius Jones didn't declare. He's a 5-5 senior now, isn't he?
Yeah, he had some insane stats. I mean, look at.
He had some unfinished business though, because he didn't win the Big Ten last season.
You look at some of Texas A&M or Maddie Swift's stats last season, and remember he didn't play most of the games. He still led the. He played.
He took over first game.
You guys know that Cade came in here?
No, but like he led college football in yards last year. He was a volume passer, and I think he's become more efficient this season with less of a load. He's not throwing 70 times a game like he was last year.
Yeah, I mean I gotta say he took over from the second game last season, so he was shoved right in there and he had to perform. So
yeah.
He's markedly better this season. Alright, why is it going quiet? Fuck.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game. What is it?
Why is it so quiet?
Oh,
okay.
I'm thinking.
There we go.
Lagged because Cade was trying to join.
Guess who's here?
Hey, Cade, will you tell Trey he was really creepy last night?
I was not. Shut the
Hey, you're
fuck
so
up.
creepy.
Someone say games. What?
Yeah, I'm waiting for LDO to bring up the next game.
Okay. It's USC versus Notre Dame.
Vote or
Oh,
die.
yeah, that's game of the week. We'll have to revisit that.
Okay, so it's fucking hell. Alabama at Arkansas.
Oh, this game. I think it was a morning game.
Alabama.
No, it
Alabama's
wasn't.
strong.
Is Missouri on a bye?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Missouri's
Missouri's
on
on
a
a
bye.
bye.
And that's game of the week, so Alabama, Arkansas, right?
Alabama, Arkansas is an afternoon game where Alabama rolled Tide and won.
Guys, my
RJ
game's at night.
Stanford continued to just ignore every fucking thing everybody's telling him and just threw the ball 68 times in the game.
Oh yeah, RJ Stanford has been kind of successful doing that too. Like he's throwing 70 times a game, but it's not like he's throwing a bunch of interceptions. He's had a
He
solid.
threw 2 interceptions and they lost the game because of it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but I don't think you can. I don't think you can expect a guy to throw 68 times and get no interceptions.
yeah,
That's
and
insane.
for what it's worth, he only threw 2 interceptions. Like I could live with that, especially
Oh,
with
thank
2
God.
touchdowns.
Thank God Raul Gomez only had a mediocre game.
We're not going
RJ Stanford throws more each game than a lot of QBs do in 3 games.
Yeah,
So, you know.
and Daniel Potter for Arkansas had 6 carries for -2 yards.
I guess that's why he doesn't believe in his running back.
Like if they had a reason to stop throwing.
Hey, doesn't Charlie Walter come back after this week? Probably.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
go over that shit when we're done going over the top 25 games. Right now we're on Alabama, Arkansas.
To be fair to Daniel Potter, he doesn't run the ball like for so long that he probably forgets how to run the ball. He runs 6 times a game, so he has no idea what he's doing, and he just gets fucking destroyed.
I wonder if he just sat down one of those plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it.
I'm not gonna get hit again. Fuck you people.
Like, we practiced this play 3 times in practice. I don't know what I'm doing. But,
He probably just kneels. Out of protest.
like, fuck, nope. Throw some more, RJ. I'll block for you. But, I mean, it's not an awful game by RJ Stanford, but... And he's put together some impressive games, throwing 70 times a game. And from all the quarterbacks who are throwing that much this season, he's probably the best. No one expected him to be the season. I don't think anyone talked about him before the season, especially after Taylor Hayden left Arkansas.
Oh, shit.
Also, I think that Alabama obviously has a really good defense as well, so you can't expect no picks from throwing.
Roll Tide.
Erasmus McCready has like the most interesting career of anyone. Like,
I mean, something that he had.
Didn't he start for 2 years, then he got redshirted, and then
He
played?
got redshirted. I think it was because he tore his ACL in the offseason. It was a medical redshirt, so Sean had not got the job above him. But
was it strategic?
might have been strategic, but he's...
Yeah, it couldn't have been that strategic because Alabama sucked ass last year.
Hey,
Did
watch
they?
it now.
But Sean Hadnot didn't.
Yeah, he was a 5 of 5. He had 2 5 of 5s. He didn't really know. Like, can't
Now
go
he's the
wrong.
backup to Rob LeCounte.
Yo, I wish I had that problem.
I
Yeah,
had 2
that's
5-of-5 receivers last year.
Oh, good. That's not a problem, though. Like, you can play multiple 5-5 receivers.
Hunch Richardson with another 7 tackles. Attaboy!
Let's move on. The homers are starting to get to this fucking game.
Yeah.
Washington
Washington.
versus
Who are they playing?
California.
Oh, Washington's going to win that. Has it already happened? Or is it a night game?
No,
Nice
it's a night game, but Washington's going to win that one.
Yeah, Mississippi State just beat down Cal, and Washington has finally started living up to preseason expectations.
I think TCTY Killer finally figured out what he's doing as a coach, and it's about fucking time.
Hey, Ted, can you post the topics list again? Because I can't see it.
We didn't make one. We're just going over the top 25 games right
We're
now.
just
LEO
bullshitting
has them.
now.
Yeah, and Salona's going to start sending us game reports pretty soon here.
Hopefully. It looks like he's working on games.
But, yeah, once he finishes the first one, he'll send us something, and we'll start going through it. But the point is...
Iowa. He's on Iowa.
All right, is that the first game?
I don't know. I'm going to
I
check.
met this hooker in Iowa.
You met a hooker.
No, that's the third game.
What the fuck
Dad,
is
how many times?
what is going on?
Oh shit. Okay, so
Alright.
where are we, LDO?
Washington versus California.
Oh yeah. Do either of you people who haven't talked yet want to give us some fucking insight on it?
Washington looks pretty good. California has a decent quarterback, Bobby Kaleidoscope Kalaji or something like that. But
Bobby Kaleidoscope.
yeah, I came up with that, by the way.
No, you didn't.
So yeah, but Washington's really good. Kern Trapp is one of the best running backs so far. So Washington will likely win.
I think Washington is the favorite going into this game. I think there's a little upset potential because TCTY is always one for a letdown.
It hasn't happened yet this season. I made a promise to him that I wouldn't go against him until he did it again. So I'm gonna have to take Washington in this one.
Washington has a really nice receiving core as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Oscar Fisk, 6'8", 245, tight end. Jesus Christ.
What's his rate? What's his skill?
He's a 5 out of 5.
Oh shit! You know what that means, right? Ravens are gonna take him in the first round.
Oh my God, there's actually an Empress now.
Yeah. KG needs to catch up, but
That is insane. I mean, yeah, Jesus Christ.
yeah, that's a big dude right there.
I might
yeah, I
scout
take
him in the
Washington.
scouting combine just to see what his 40-yard dash is. 6'8"
Ted,
guy.
no, Ted hasn't lost yet this year.
Yeah. All right, next game, I guess. So we're all taking
Is-
Washington, right? Does anyone want to pick the upset?
Wait, who's
All right.
Who are they
Iowa.
playing? God, Trey, I told you last week. That's exactly what you don't say.
What did he say?
Who are they playing again?
What does it mean?
Yeah,
on
don't say
Reddit,
that. It makes
so-
us all look stupid.
Well, I was trying to ask LEO, who is LSU playing? Because he's the
Bye.
one who has the list.
Playing by.
They have a bye?
LSU's on a bye.
All right.
Oh, are you
What about
guys
the-
going to the top
and
five?
And our next game is
Iowa.
Notre Dame.
No, that's the night game. So it's
No-
Iowa.
And
at
USC
Arizona.
Notre Dame is our game of the week.
Yeah.
And Iowa, who they have?
At Arizona
They have
State.
Arizona State.
I want to
Iowa,
believe
handily.
I want to believe Arizona State can pull an upset in here, but I don't see it. There's no
Pickle
way.
Juice is still figuring out how to do this, so.
Yeah, it's pickle juice, and I just don't
Oh,
see
he's the Arizona State coach, isn't he?
Yeah, J.M. Jacobs is too good of a coach. Jarius Jones is one of the better quarterbacks in the NCAA. He hasn't been as good as he was last year. And they have arguably the best running back in college football right now with, what's his name? Fucking...
Arizona State's just been too mediocre to win this game. Good.
Yeah, no, they have...
Jarris Jones is actually technically, he's technically playing
What's
better.
his
if you
name?
want.
Art Duhan or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's...
I mean, Jarris
And
Jones
Harris.
compared to,
James Harris. Harris, the running back, 5'5".
Jarris Jones compared to last year, he's
No,
playing
it's
just as well,
it's
but
Ron Thomas at Iowa.
he's throwing
No,
less.
Harris is the 5'5"
I'm with you,
running back at
LDO.
Arizona State.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, Jarris Jones is playing just as well, but he's throwing less. That's the only reason why he's not got as much production. But I mean, he's increased his yards per attempt. He's not thrown an interception yet. He's still around the same. Well, he's completing more of his passes. He's got a better QB rating. So he's as good as ever. Obviously, we're just running a more balanced game plan this year.
Oh yeah, and you can see why because or are you talking about Jarius Jones?
Yeah.
Because Ron Thomas has 7.63
Hey, look,
yards
it's
per
Jim
carry
Jacobs.
and 6 touchdowns. He is the nation's 5th leading rusher on only 60 carries.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, he's having an absurd season so far, and that balance is working for Iowa. I want to say they're underrated, but they're ranked number 3, so you can't.
I think this might be blowout of the night games. I don't think Arizona State has any chance in hell, and I think that Iowa could put up over 40 points on them.
I could see that.
Well-
I definitely could see that.
Okay, so
Somebody said well.
is everyone
Yeah, someone
picking?
said well.
Is everyone picking Iowa then?
I'm taking
Yeah, I
Iowa.
think so.
Yeah, I'm taking them.
Next game is Penn State and
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And we
Ray,
have our first night game, just by the way.
we do.
Oh, we do?
Yeah,
But
Okay,
it's also the game day game, so we probably want to save it for last.
Yeah.
where do you see that?
That's
I have it.
yeah. That's
He's getting him
so,
PM to him because he begged Saluna for him today.
I
yeah,
didn't,
so we're
we
gonna
all
announce them.
agreed that we wanted them. Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We're announcing. Trey, chill. We're announcing them on game day, but
Trey, I'm putting you
Like-
on blast. I mean,
that's probably the last one we're gonna do.
Yeah, we'll just hold it.
But
Okay, so
Danger, since you're the best at reading them, want me to add you to this PM?
yeah, add me to it.
add everyone to the PM.
No, we don't need everyone in there because you guys will
Everyone wants
react.
to see it.
add everyone, but only Danger reads it because I
Yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah, and don't react to it either.
Yeah.
Can't add everybody, I don't think.
Just her.
Just copy the PM into the Hangout chat.
It's
Okay,
gonna look really weird, I think.
guys, chill.
Yeah, let's move on to
Okay,
on.
so
to
Texas, and West
State at
Texas and West
Indiana.
Virginia.
We
Texas-
didn't get over Penn State, Indiana yet, Elio.
Like good chat, guys.
Does
Oh.
it really matter? Do we really need to go over that game?
No, don't think so. Let's go to Texas and West Virginia. Yeah. Yeah.
No, Penn State at Indiana. That was
I mean, that was just standard Big Ten play nowadays, with Penn State being one of only two good, maybe three if you count Michigan with their up and down bipolarness.
Oh,
good teams in the Big Ten.
yeah, and it was just a blowout. I mean, I'm trying to think.
Is there
All
any good upside for Indiana? No.
All right, so what was the first night game on the list?
The first
Cal
night
at
game that we're
Washington?
actually going to read is Washington at Cal, I
And
think.
we
All
have
right, we have that game. Do you want to start?
Cal at Washington.
Okay. First quarter, 9 minutes 11 seconds left. Washington lines up for a 41-yard field goal. Snap is good, kick is good, and Walker Gentry knocks it through. Washington's up 3-0. Now with a minute 50 left in the first, Walker Gentry lines up for another field goal, 33 yards. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good again. And at the end of the first quarter, Washington is up 6-0. Now into the second quarter, with a minute 8 left, Bobby Kaleidoscope drops back to pass, looks to his left, throws, and it is picked off by Hunter Taylor for Washington with about a minute 8 left. And
11 minutes, 8 seconds.
11 minutes, 8 seconds left, and Washington doesn't do much with it. 7 minutes and 3 seconds now left in the second quarter. Will Nichols for Cal lines up to take a 44-yard field goal, and it sails wide left. No good. Washington still leads 6-0. Now with 2 seconds left in the last second drive for Washington, Walker Gentry lines up for another field goal, 36 yards, and it is good. Washington takes a 9-0 lead at the end of the first half. You guys. Okay, now going into the second half, Bobby Kaleidoscope drops back to pass again, looks to his left, now looks back right, gets flushed out of the pocket, throws, and it is picked off again by Chris Tolbert, this time with 13 minutes and 22 seconds left in the half. And that is in field goal range for Washington. 3 plays later, they line up for a 38-yard field goal by Walker Gentry. 12 minutes, 15 seconds left in the quarter, and it sails left. It is no good. The score is still 9-0 Washington. Now with a minute and 50 seconds left, Washington has the ball first and goal on the Cal 3-yard line. Anthony Newsom takes the snap, hands off to the fullback Mark Walsh, and it is good for a touchdown. 16-0 Washington with a minute 50 left in the third quarter. And now we head into the fourth quarter, 12 minutes and 5 seconds left in the quarter. Will Nichols lines up for a 37-yard field goal. Snap is good, hold is good, the kick is good, and Cal cuts the lead to 16-3 Washington. About 7 minutes, 22 seconds left. Walker Gentry lines up for his fifth field goal attempt of the night. 35 yards. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick again is good. He is 4 of 5 on the night. Just hit a 35-yarder to go up 19-3. Now 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Bobby Kaleidoscope takes another snap, looks to his left, throws it down the middle to Lonnie Rivera for a 14-yard touchdown pass. Cal cuts the lead to 9 with 2 minutes 50 seconds left, but that will do it. Final score: Washington 19, Cal 10.
That's about what was expected for this
Yeah.
game. I think.
Yeah.
I have a question about this game, though. Why did Cal not go for 2 on that
That's
last
what I was just about to say. They should have gone for 2 to make it an 8-point game.
Yeah, that would have put them closer than they could have gotten it, but I guess it was a coaching decision. They were down by a lot. There was only 3
It didn't
minutes
really matter. Shout out to Washington for having a 9.0
That's
offensive.
what I was about to point out. I've never seen a 9.0, I don't think, before.
No, we've had bigger ones. Florida had like a 9-8, but that was a good game by Washington. Their offense just couldn't score in the red zone. They kicked a lot of field goals. Walker Gentry was 4 of 5 kicking field goals.
I just got booted.
Bobby Kalodzic, or however you pronounce his name, he had a
Fuzzy.
terrible game. Terrible game.
Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions.
Sub 50% percentage, 293.
Yeah, some final stats important. Bobby Kaleidoscope was 32 of 66 for 293, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Anthony Newsom for Washington was 13 of 19 for 188, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So, solid game by Newsom. He was efficient with the ball.
No, that can't be right. One sec. Washington scored a touchdown, didn't they?
They did. They had a rushing touchdown. On the ground, Washington had 21 carries for 117 yards. Kern Trapp and Marvin Washington for Cal had 7 carries for 28 yards. And Mark Walsh for Washington had 3 carries for 6 yards and a touchdown as their fullback.
Don't go over the receiving or defense. They can read
Yeah,
that.
you can look at later, but that's all I was going over. It looks like Washington moved the ball effectively, just got into the red zone and couldn't convert well.
It's probably pretty wet and sloppy up there in Seattle. So.
It was raining during this game.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks for that, Trey.
All right. Yeah, it was. All right. I don't have any other comments about this game. It was a good defensive performance by Cal, holding this Washington offense to only 19, but they could only put up 10, and it cost them the game.
And we actually have the next game already, too.
All right. Moving on. Oh, you have anything to say, Ted?
Cal had over 300 yards and only ended up with
10 points.
10 points.
Yeah, the turnovers look like they could have been huge. The 2 interceptions and just a rough game offensively. Neither team could really score. They had a missed field goal and just it was very rainy, ugly, and up in Seattle. All right, moving on to our next game. Iowa Hawkeyes at the Arizona State Sun Devils. Iowa's 3-0 against the winless Arizona State Sun Devils. In Tempe, Arizona, it's 81 and sunny. In the first quarter, with about 1:05 left in the quarter, Larry Delamure lines up for a 38-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 1:05 left in the first quarter, Arizona State takes a 3-0 lead. And that's all that really happens in the first quarter. We move on to the second quarter now. And Iowa has the ball down at Arizona State's 2-yard line. Jarius Jones takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Ron Thomas, looks to his left, and throws a strike to Oliver Peel at the corner of the end zone. He is in for the touchdown. 7-3, Iowa leads. 7, 8 minutes later, with 3 minutes 15 seconds left in the quarter, Jarius Jones takes the snap again at the Arizona State 11-yard line. He throws again to Oliver Peel for an 11-yard touchdown pass. He is in the end zone. Iowa leads 14-3, and that is your halftime score. Moving into the third quarter now, Art Duhan takes a snap for Arizona State at the Iowa 25-yard line, looks to his left, throws, and it is picked off by John Morrison of Iowa, taken back about 5 yards, and Iowa football. Now Jarius Jones takes a snap a couple plays later, looks, he's flushed out of the pocket, tries to make something happen, he throws it up, and is picked off by Gary Robinson of Arizona State. And that was with 6 minutes and 52 seconds left in the quarter. Now 2 minutes 43 seconds left Arizona State lines up for another field goal. Larry DeLemieux takes the 44-yard attempt. Snap is good. Hold is wobbly. And the kick is wide right. He misses the 44-yard attempt, and Iowa still leads 14-3 at the end of the third quarter. Now Iowa has the ball. 5 minutes, 58 seconds left in the quarter, looking to put this one away. Ball on the Arizona State 3-yard line. Jarius Jones takes a snap, hands it off to Ron Thomas, who bursts through lines for an Iowa touchdown. Iowa leads 21-3, and that is your final score. Jarius Jones is 14 of 20 for 183 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and Art Duan was 9 of 18 for 160 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. And I think that's about what everyone predicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lower scoring game than I expected out of Jarius Jones.
Yeah, he was 14 of 20, pretty efficient though overall.
What did Iowa running back rush for in the game?
He was 21 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown.
That's not bad.
Efficient as ever.
He had a solid game. He's still one of the leading rushers in the nation. And not a very exciting game. It wasn't as big of a blowout as I think everyone thought, but it's the Iowa defense that stepped up and just held Arizona State to 3 points. Arizona State never got the ball within Iowa's 21. They never had the ball in the red zone. Impressive performance overall. This is the last of the games we have right now. I think some are starting later. And so what is the next night game? We can make a prediction on that if we haven't already.
It's Texas at West Virginia.
Texas.
This one's going to get ugly.
Yeah, I think we could get ugly with this. But you never know. I mean, West Virginia, didn't they upset you a couple seasons back, Ted?
Back when I had Robert Price, yeah, but that's not saying much. They haven't done anything since, really.
No, but they could be right for an upset, or it could just be a Texas blowout. But has Texas had any big blowouts so far this season? Have they really had impressive performances? I haven't kept up with them too much.
Let me look at their schedule real quick and try to reminisce, because I'm not going to look up all their games.
True, but I think overall, if I'm not mistaken, Texas has been somewhat, you can check me on this, you probably should, but Texas has been somewhat underperforming as the number one team.
I'm checking their schedule, see if anything jumps out at me.
You can check on the week. You know.
I do remember there being a couple games that were close because I
Oh, yeah,
remember
you're right,
I remember saying on air that it was probably due to Azul just getting used to the team and stuff.
Oh, they did play North Carolina very close. Boston College was a 9-point game.
Their
against
only big win was Hawaii.
Yes,
And
and
that's
then
not really saying much again.
against USC they won by 7. Against Boston College they won by 9, and they beat North Carolina by 1. So I think overall they're slightly underperforming as the number one team, and playing in Morgantown is a hostile environment at night. It could be ripe for an upset.
I don't know. I just don't think they have the firepower. You can make as many slow starts and mistakes as you want, but I don't think that West Virginia has the firepower to take down Texas.
I can agree with that.
If the defense step up, they could potentially do something. Because I mean, there are some definite deficiencies on the defense, but there's also a few 5 out of 5 guys in and around there. The linebacking core is headed by 2 5 out of 5s, and they have a 5 out of 5 strong safety. Apart from that, the defense is kind of mediocre, but I think it could happen, and rare possibility.
Yeah, and like I said, I think an upset is possible here. I don't think it's likely. Just because Texas has too much firepower, too good in the secondary, really will suffocate West Virginia's offense. But you never know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
do.
see- I don't
West
see an
Virginia
upset
doesn't have a
happening.
chance at this game.
I mean, it's definitely possible, but I
on,
do not see it
please.
happening.
Okay, so Miami at Oregon.
Please. Please.
Miami's gonna win this game, I think.
Miami,
Oregon.
no
I don't
way.
remember who Oregon's running back is, but he's gonna fumble the ball again.
Sean Anderson.
John
Okay,
Anderson's gonna
he
fumble
also
the
had
ball
zero.
again.
He had 0 fumbles last year, so fucking chill out.
Oregon has
You
like
have no
a
chance,
5-5 quarterback and a 5-5 running back, and just doesn't have the offense with it for some reason.
You don't have a chance.
No. Okay.
I lost to
we'll
San Diego
make-
State because it was a scheme change, bro.
We'll make
Otherwise-
predictions for this game
Real.
after the
If I win this game,
Here.
I'm really gonna just be all over your face.
and we are just about to kick off in Morgantown.
Shit.
And in the first quarter, 11 minutes, 22 seconds to go, Sam Light drops back, looks to throw. He's looking for Harry Whiteside, and is picked off by Terrence Martin. He's got it the 30, the 20, the 10, and touchdown West Virginia. They lead 7-0. First. And now West Virginia has the ball with about 5 minutes and 52 seconds to go. They're lining up for a 51-yard field goal.
Ooh.
A.J. McKinney takes the snap, or the snap is good, hold is good, but the kick is short. 41 yards, it is no good, and West Virginia still leads 7-0. 30 seconds left now in the first quarter. Texas has the ball on the West Virginia 14. Sam Light takes the snap, looks to throw again. He's throwing for Jackie Walters at the corner of the end zone, and it is caught for a Texas touchdown. And at the end of the first quarter, your score is 7-7 Texas. Now into the second quarter, Texas has the ball at their own 10-yard line. Sam Light takes the snap, looks to throw again for Harry Whiteside, and is picked off again by Emmanuel Walker of West Virginia. He is down to the Texas 10-yard line with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the half. A couple plays later, there's 22 seconds left in the half. Richmond King takes a snap for West Virginia, and he hands it off to his running back, Dick Bates, who is in for the 2-yard touchdown. And halftime score is 14-7 West Virginia. You guys have any halftime analysis of this?
Andrew, put the thing in the chat.
No,
God.
I'm reading it to y'all.
We can't. So we don't know.
Yeah, guys, it's halftime analysis.
My halftime analysis is that this is the Sam Light that I'm used to seeing as, I've been in the Big 12 this whole time. This is the Sam Light that it's kind of like the James Dale I'm used to seeing.
Yep.
The quarterback that's not efficient, that throws a lot of interceptions, that can't hold a team up.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming eventually.
Who's recorded the interceptions, Danger?
The interceptions so far have been Terrence Martin and Emmanuel Walker for West Virginia. Okay,
Alright,
now
okay.
into the third quarter. 6 minutes and 37 seconds left. Texas has the ball around midfield. Sam Light takes a snap and looks to throw again. He's looking for Spencer Salt. He throws and is picked off by Rob Evans. West Virginia has the ball again, and that is Sam Light's third interception of the game.
Jeez.
A.J. Kinney now for lining up to take the field goal for West Virginia with 1:55 left in the game. Or left in the third quarter, my bad. And my bad. It's a 39-yard field goal. The snap is good, hold is good, but the kick is wide right, and he misses his second one of the night.
Come on, man.
West Virginia still leads 14-7. Now, 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Texas has the ball at their own 42. Sam Light takes the snap. He pumps fakes. He's got some time. He throws for Harry Whiteside deep, and it is caught. Whiteside has space, and he is in for the 58-yard touchdown. The end of the third quarter, the score is tied at 14.
Jeez.
Now, 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Gino Chavierne is lining up for the 33-yard field goal for Texas. The snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good. Texas takes a 17-14 lead with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. West Virginia has some time left, though. 40 seconds left on the clock. The ball is on Texas's 19-yard line. Richmond King takes the snap, looks to his left, and throws to Todd Skies in the end zone for a touchdown with 14 seconds left in the game.
40 seconds.
40 seconds left in the game. West Virginia takes a 21-17 lead. And now Texas still has one last chance, though. They have the ball at their own 50-yard line. 11 seconds left. This is going to be a Hail Mary. Sam White takes a snap. He runs around, gets a little bit of time, launches it up to the end zone, and it is picked off by John Macias. West Virginia wins the game in Morgantown 21-17.
Holy shit.
That is our
Jesus
upset of
Christ.
the night.
Oh
Sam
my god. The
Texas
Pol-
goes down. Down goes Texas.
goes down.
Down goes Texas.
20. Sam White was 24 of 49 for 218 yards,
But-
2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
That was a
Sam Light, I am used to fucking seeing at Texas.
not just that, but I mean it did come down to West Virginia defense as well. I mean that is not a bad defense, and they stepped up along with, by the way, 50 yards of like net punting by West Virginia,
Yep.
pretty much.
And guys, I'm going to stop. Yeah, let's stop posting this in the chat so you guys can't see it until the game finishes.
That's
'Cause-
fine.
Because I
But-
think it's more fun for you guys to actually react to it.
I just want to say that orange banner is finally coming down.
That orange
After
banner
which
is
never
coming
deserved in the
down.
first place.
The Longhorns fall.
And
Great,
this
now
is
we're going
a
to the
conference loss that nobody saw
basketball
coming.
night.
So
No, Texas, the South is more open now. It's looking
does this
like.
affect? I mean, seriously, this.
I mean,
Wow.
you look in the South now. You see Texas Tech has a chance. They're looking at this. You see Oklahoma State and TCU are all looking at this. The only team who isn't looking at this with a chance to win the South is Baylor. Like,
Baylor.
but
Everybody
Sam,
laugh at Tabor. Ha 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 ha, ha ha.
does this affect what Texas does going forward? I mean, West Virginia was winless going into this game.
Well,
What's the remaining schedule?
after a bye week, they play me.
Oh
Right, so-
man,
So
Yeah.
if they were to change their scheme, they would absolutely lose to me. So
And
they're
that-
stuck running whatever they're running.
that's 2 conference losses. So if they lose to you, that means they have to hope that either Texas Tech or TCU or Oklahoma State loses another game and then they beat them. So this
This kind of just shot Texas's dreams in the face.
Oh,
Yeah,
This could cost them the playoffs,
cost them the conference.
the title game.
They might not even play in the conference championship like this, and they play Baylor and then they play at Kansas. They have to play at Texas Tech, at TCU, and then they have Oklahoma State at home.
Danger, we have a new game.
Apparently,
Yeah,
Chris had a meltdown because Azul Cabrera lost. No one else is
All
on
right.
for that, I guess.
Okay.
Who lost? Texas. No, that's this little cow.
All right.
Thank you for the play-by-play. Anyway,
After that game ends, we have kickoff in Eugene, Oregon. Miami
Yeah, it's
at
raining.
It is 59 and raining up in Eugene, Oregon. And the game starts. Paul Davenport takes the snap, hands it off to Haywood Coleman, who gets hit in the backfield by Ryan. Oh, they gets hit in the backfield by Eric Jennings, who knocks the ball loose, and it was recovered by Mike Housley. Oregon ball.
back in your arcade already. Say, fuck,
That is,
running back got it.
yeah, it is a fumble recovery by Mike Housley for Oregon.
Thank
And
God.
now Elijah Little lines up to take the field goal with 20 seconds left in the first, very uneventful first quarter. 36 yards. The snap is good. The hold is good, but the kick is wide
Yeah.
left.
I would assume
And
so.
the first quarter ends 0-0.
Ugh, what a boring game.
Now,
Just.
Oregon has the ball at their own 12-yard line. Joaquin Younger takes a snap, hands it off to Sean Anderson, who gets hit in the backfield
Yeah.
and fumbles, and is picked up
Called
by
it.
Ryan Frey with 35 seconds left in the half.
Shit, Sean's draft stock's going down the fucking
Now,
shit.
Paul, with 35 seconds left, 2 plays later, 3 seconds left in the half. Paul Davenport takes a snap, looks to throw to Sonny Beckett, and it is picked off by Tracy
Oh my
Macklin, who
God.
falls down in the end zone, and that is your halftime score, 0-0.
All right, you know what? I'll take that as a
And-
win.
The third quarter,
I
nothing.
want my money back.
We move all the way to the fourth quarter now.
I want my money back.
Fourth quarter score is still 0-0. It's raining
Embarrassing
hard.
for Miami. My defense is so bad.
It is some tough rain here in Eugene. and Autzen Stadium. Now Joakim Younger takes a snap and looks to throw. He is looking for Chip Johnson, and it is picked off by Russ Barker of Miami. Now Miami takes the ball. They get down into field goal range.
If I lose 3-0.
Brett Donahue takes this. Well, Brett Donahue lines up to take the kick. 42-yard attempt. The snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is wide right.
Oh my god!
With 6 minutes and 52 seconds left, the score is still 0-0. And now,
Oh my god, no! My heart is
the
pounding.
score is with 1 minute and 53 seconds left. Oregon has the ball on Miami's 17-yard line. Joakim Younger takes the snap, looks to throw. He pumps to his fakes left. He runs out of the pocket. He throws to Mike Jones in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yes!
Oregon leads 7-0 with 1:53 left, and that is your final score. Oregon
Worst game
Yes!
Oregon
Fuck you,
wins.
Trey! Fuck
Oregon
you!
beats
Fuck
Miami
you, piece of
7-0.
shit! Fuck you!
Some stats from the game. Joakim Younger was 17 of 32 for 148, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Paul Davenport was 13 of 27 for 119, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Oh, man.
Yes! Yes! Eric Jennings finally made that sheet.
Sean Anderson had 10 carries for 25 yards and a fumble.
Oh my god! Sean Anderson is like.
Haywood Coleman
my
from
God.
Miami had 16 carries for 53 yards and a fumble.
I didn't give him
Presume that like Sean Anderson has like grease smothered all over like his arms and
Yeah.
hands, and he just
And
can't control the ball.
Eric Jennings forced a fumble, first time he's really stepping up.
Yes.
That was just an ugly game for Oregon. I'm going to guess the rain was pretty damn hard. So,
Yes.
That picture Emperor Orange just put up is absolutely. It looks just like what I imagine Cade looks like right now.
It's funny because I did that exact gesture when Danger said that was the final score.
Dude,
Yeah.
I told you that fucking Sean Anderson was gonna have a fumble.
yeah, but
Not only a fumble,
Oregon
2.5 yards a carry. Like, what?
Oregon pulls it out.
Hey, you only had 10 carries. Like,
Oregon
So-
keeps their bowl dreams alive because if they lost that game, they weren't going to a bowl.
Yeah.
That may be the worst game ever played.
No,
that was
Tennessee, South Carolina last season.
that was great. That was defensive
Yeah, I
battle.
mean, Tennessee game was a defensive battle. I said this last time.
No.
3-2 score.
Yes, yes, I won.
Yeah, 7-0 final score.
Rank the
I'm
ducks.
gonna guess
Rank the
the
ducks.
rain was absurdly hard.
That was disgusting.
Rank
really
the
hard.
ducks. Rank the ducks.
Interesting
No fucking
stats.
way.
No
fucking
wide
way.
receiver had more than 38
Why
yards
not?
receiving. Chip Johnson was the leading receiver in the game. 4 catches for 38 yards was the best receiver in the game. Even from other stats, there were 6 people to make the rushing stat line. No one had more than 53 yards. Like,
Terrible.
Game just makes me sad.
it's
Yes. Ends justify the means, boys.
Oh, Impost wanted to put Azul Cabrera on blast for losing as the #1 team in the nation to a winless West Virginia.
yeah, that's probably what most of the discussion is going to be about this week. How far does Texas fall?
At
That's
least
right.
8 positions.
They might fall out of the top 10.
Unranked.
They're not going to be.
I would love for them to go unranked. I'd love to be higher than them personally, but I don't think it's going to happen because my loss was to a number 4 Notre Dame now.
Yeah, but look at their loss. I mean, that's quality.
Well, no,
loss
I'm
right there.
saying that they're probably not going to. I'm not going to jump high enough for them to go under me. I'd like them to be under
Because-
me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the biggest upset of the night. So biggest upset of the season so far. West Virginia was winless going into this game.
Yes.
Why is it always Texas that gets upset? Like
Now, question is this a bigger upset than the TCU upset?
of Texas?
It's not a bigger
No.
upset than a TCU upset.
No, it's not a bigger upset than C, but it is still just an ugly game for Texas.
I mean, I've been pointing it out for a while, guys. Azul's not a great coach, and I think this one comes down to coaching.
I think that's what you kind of have to look at it with.
Also, we knew the Sam Light train couldn't last. I told you people that he's not a good quarterback. He's just been getting lucky this season somehow.
Here, another question. Does he finish the season for Texas?
Yes.
You don't think they might
Wait, didn't we ask that last week, and then he had a
Yes,
great
you asked
game?
that last week when he almost lost to North Carolina, and we all said yes, because it's going to affect the team chemistry, and it's just not worth it at this point to burn the
Sean Light had no interceptions starting this week, and he's just thrown 4.
He threw 4 in this game. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
That's just insane. Oh my god. Notice how the whole mood's dropped.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of waiting for the next game, but
The reason I'm not talking much is I'm working on the strength schedule.
we have our next game, and we are in Tucson, Arizona. 80 and sunny.
Oh
Colorado
God!
Buffaloes. Colorado Buffaloes take on the Arizona Wildcats. Colorado Buffaloes enter the game at 0-3, and the Arizona Wildcats are 3-0 and undefeated. We go into the first quarter now. 8 minutes and 4 seconds left. Arizona has the ball first and goal at the Colorado 7-yard line. Taylor Rodriguez takes a snap, looks to throw, and he throws to James Jones in the end zone for a 7-yard touchdown. Arizona leads 7-0.
Of course they do.
Now, later in the first, 30 seconds left in the first quarter, Arizona has the ball on the Colorado 1-yard line, first and goal. Taylor Rodriguez takes snap, hands off to Gil Novak, who bursts through the lines for the 1-yard touchdown. And at the end of the first quarter, the score is 14-0 Arizona.
And so it begins.
It's only going to get worse.
LJ Offerman now has the ball for Colorado with 10:14 left in the second quarter. He takes a snap, looks to throw, and it is picked off by Le'Veon Brooks for Arizona.
Of course it is.
And Arizona has the ball, but they do not do much with it. They punt it back to Colorado. Now LJ Offerman has the ball in Arizona territory. He looks to throw. He pump fakes once. He throws to the end zone and is picked up again by Tim Silver of Arizona, who takes it back to midfield. Now, in that drive, Arizona gets the ball down to Colorado's 5-yard line. Taylor Rodriguez takes snap, hands off to Gil Novak, and he is in for the 5-yard touchdown with 23 seconds left in the half. Arizona leads 21-0, and that is your halftime score.
I mean, both of those passes, as soon as you started mentioning them, I just knew they'd be picks. Like, I just felt like I knew they'd be picks. This is going exactly how I thought it would.
Because Danger didn't give a specific yard.
Yeah. That's true. All right.
He's got a formula I've caught on to since he doesn't have a script in front of him.
Yeah, no. But, all right. Taylor Rodriguez into the third quarter now, 11 minutes, 20 seconds left. Taylor Rodriguez takes a snap and looks to his right. He throws to John Rowe for the 7-yard touchdown pass.
Oh.
And Arizona leads 28-0, but Colorado comes back, gets the ball. There's 2 minutes, 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Nick Easy lines up for the 41-yard field goal. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good. Colorado gets their points on the board.
Come back.
Score is 28-3. Now we go into the fourth quarter. Arizona has the ball deep in Colorado territory. Taylor Rodriguez takes the snap, hands off to the fullback Michael Behrens, I can't pronounce that. And he is in for the 5-yard touchdown for Arizona, and they take a 35-3 lead, and that is your final score. Arizona beats Colorado 35-3.
No surprises there.
Absolutely disgusting, but that's how you exercise a demon. Congratulations to
Taylor Rodriguez.
Colorado.
Taylor Rodriguez, 24 of 30 for 348 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had a great night. And then Gil Novacek had 12 carries for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just a great game overall for Arizona. Colorado just couldn't handle.
Colorado's been a shithole ever since Rome bailed on them. I mean, they weren't that good.
Did David Medley get a sack or anything? Did David Medley show up on the stats?
No, he did not.
There you go.
He did not make the game. Colorado didn't have anyone with a sack or any of that. They had a guy with 7 tackles, 6 tackles, and 5 tackles.
That's horrible.
just a bad game overall for Colorado, and Arizona took advantage.
I mean, as time passes where they don't have a coach that I'm aware of, because I've never seen him post.
They
I've
do
never
have a
seen depth
coach,
chart.
but
Who is it?
Is it an active coach?
he hasn't been very active, but they do have a coach.
If he's not active, then I don't consider him a coach. 'Cause he's not putting in game plans, he's not putting in depth charts, and he's not going to recruit. So as time goes by and nobody really coaches that team, they're just going to get worse.
Mhm.
It's like real Colorado.
They really need to recruit this year. Yeah, it's a case of a lot of teams. It's a case of a lot of teams that need to recruit this year. That's why the Houston coach needs to stick around, because there's a relatively decent class there, but it'll go to waste if it doesn't get added to.
All the good players end up going to waste.
Yeah, but except for the ones that got recruited to Arizona, because they are on fire right now. They're 4-0, and they have to be one of the favorites to win the pack.
Where is Kate to talk about his fucking conference?
I'm sitting in happiness. I'm basking in
Talk
my
about
glory.
your fucking conference. You always talk about the Pac-12 when it comes.
All right, let me tell you
Well, I mean, they
this.
suck, so it's
If
not
you
much to talk
aren't
about.
thinking that the Pac is one of the is either the strongest or second strongest this year at the top, anyways, then I mean, Washington, Arizona, and USC are all probably top 3 teams, or not top 3 teams.
Top 3 in the
country.
conference, you better mean.
Yeah, I mean there are top 3 teams, but that's probably like the best or second best top 3 in any of the conferences.
Yeah, I do think Pac is very strong at the top, and then they have teams like Utah who are making noise too, but I think
In Oregon,
and Oregon, yeah, but
Oregon bullshit.
Sucks.
but between
just
those
win,
3
baby,
teams,
win.
I could see any of
Could be
those
a
3
homer,
teams
kid.
winning the conference.
How did Cade not win the Homer games?
Are you really asking yourself that,
Shut
Trey?
up, Trey. Dear God.
What?
Are you really asking yourself that seriously?
I'm not a homer.
Bull fucking shit. We're not going over this again.
All right.
Well, we might until we have. Do we have another game danger? Because we can go
I'm
over.
not
Not
drunk,
yet, but our next game will
by the
be
way.
UCLA at Minnesota, so some pregame on that.
Okay, but for real though,
UCLA's
Arizona
looking
does look really,
bad.
really good. My conference,
Yeah,
the
Arizona
top
looks
half
very
of my conference is really good. I mean, Cal has potential. They stuck with Washington, which is nice.
Okay. So does anyone want to do predictions for UCLA and Minnesota, because that game is kicking off here in a second?
I'm
Shout out
picking
to
UCLA.
This-
Like, what team we got? Number 6, number 8, number 11, and number 15.
Okay, here's a Pac-12 team is playing right now. Do you want to hear the game?
Yeah.
We're kicking off in Minneapolis. UCLA enters the game at 3-0. Minnesota enters at 1-3.
Boo.
In is 53 degrees and sunny here in a little chilly in Minneapolis. We skipped straight to the second quarter because nothing eventful happens in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Minnesota has the ball deep in UCLA territory. Sean O'Reilly takes the snap, looks to throw for Creston Fuller, and he has him in the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown pass with 10:17 left to go in the second quarter. Minnesota takes a 7-0 lead.
Go
Now,
Gophers.
UCLA on the ensuing drive responds, and they have the ball deep in Minnesota territory. Ken Eller takes the snap and hands it to Josh Shanka, who burst through the line for a touchdown with 7 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in the half. UCLA ties it up at 7. And now Minnesota is moving the ball again in the ensuing drive. They have the ball in UCLA territory, and Keith Fontenot lines up to attempt the 32-yard field goal, and the kick is good, and Minnesota takes a 10-7 lead. On the ensuing kickoff, Paul Robinson for UCLA fields the pass. He gets it at the 7-yard, or fields the kickoff. He gets it at the 7-yard line, breaks to the left, goes. He's down to the 40, the 50, and there's one man to beat, and he is into the end zone on the 93-yard kickoff return for touchdown, and just like that, UCLA takes a 14-10 lead.
There we go, Pac.
UCLA or Minnesota does get the ball back before the half, though. They take the ball, they get it down into UCLA territory, and Keith Footnote lines up for the 41-yard field goal attempt. The snap is good, the kick is good, and as time expires, the kick is no good, and Keith Footnote misses the 41-yard field goal.
He meant the snap is hold, the snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is no good,
Yeah,
everybody.
the kick is no good. The kick is wide left. Now into the third quarter.
Oh, wait, real quick at halftime, can I have somebody verify Navy's record for me, please? Go back game by game with them.
We can do that. We can do that after this
Yeah.
game when we're waiting for the
All
next
right.
Somebody
one.
just go look at it.
Okay, so we're into the third quarter now, and Minnesota has the ball in their own territory, 3rd and 10.
Navy should be 1-3.
Okay. Sean O'Reilly takes a snap, looks to throw to Preston Fuller, but it's way over his head. 4th down, Minnesota has to punt. Paul Robinson to punt for Minnesota. He takes a snap and not Paul Robinson. Minnesota to punt, though. The punter takes a snap and kicks it deep, and Paul Robinson fields it for UCLA. And he will break to the left. He's got room. He cuts left, cuts right, and he is one man to beat, but he is in the end zone for another return touchdown for UCLA. And
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that score isn't counted, but that should be a 21-10 lead for UCLA. UCLA gets the ball back, though. Now they have the ball in Minnesota territory. Ken Eller takes a snap, looks to throw. He sees George Lewis open at the back of the end zone, and he has got him for an 8-yard touchdown pass, and UCLA takes a 28-10 lead. Minnesota is not done, though. They get the ball. They take it down in the ensuing drive. They have it deep in UCLA territory. Sean O'Reilly takes a snap, looks to throw, and he sees KJ Richards open at the corner of the end zone. He's got him for the 5-yard touchdown pass. And Minnesota takes it. Now score is 28-17 with a minute or so, or with 11 minutes, 26 seconds left. UCLA gets the ball back, and they drive it all the way down into Minnesota territory again with only a minute 57 left on the clock. Chris Hogue lines up for the field goal. And 48-yard attempt. The snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good. And UCLA takes a 31-17 lead and wins the game. Final score 31-17, but the punt return for touchdown isn't counted on the box score for some reason.
Pretty much what everybody expected.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but we're fucking Nostradamus. And everybody really just nobody gave Minnesota a chance, and they didn't really have one anyway.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to read that one, but yeah, I mean...
The snap is good, the kick is good, and the kick is no good.
I'm going to say the hold is good. My bad. But, I mean, if it weren't for the 2 return touchdowns for Minnesota or UCLA, this game is a lot closer. I mean, this game is
if it's not for those 2, the score is tied, but, I mean, that's why special teams are a part of football.
Yeah, and what was a 93-yard return, too?
You just can't let that happen.
What is going on with Minnesota? They are 1-4 now.
They're bad. Ever since O.J. Carano left, they haven't had the firepower they need to be a good team.
The thing is, as you look at their offensive performance, and their quarterback Sean O'Reilly was 12 of 15 for 127, 2 touchdowns. KJ Richards on the ground had 22 carries for 93 yards. It wasn't like they were bad on the ground or bad offensively. Just they effed up special teams, and now they're struggling.
I don't think they make a bowl this season.
It's going to be tough, especially playing in the Big Ten. They're 1-4 now.
They're just one of those bad Big Ten teams. They're starting to pile up there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Do any of you 3 have any opinion on this?
Yeah. There's more than 2 people in game day. LDO?
I wasn't really listening for that game, sorry.
No, what?
UCLA beat Minnesota in...
Talk about
Talk about the Pac, UCLA. See, that's another team like what they're ranked.
UCLA have a really good team. Like I said
jacking
before.
off the Pac harder than Trey tries to jack off the ACC so he can get back to being their commissioner.
UCLA has, like I said just before, they have a really good. I wasn't aware their team is as good as it is. they have a really, really balanced team, which is mostly like 4.5s, like across the board. So I expect them to do well.
Jesus Christ, LDO, that's the biggest fucking picture ever.
And guys, how about Paul Robinson though for UCLA? 2 return touchdowns. You're gonna have a special teams player of the week. It has to be him. I mean, who else has done that? I mean, punt return and a kick return for a touchdown. I'm looking up to see what his rating is right now, but
It's interesting that former Pac-12 Returner of the Year Artemio Ramirez is yet to get one.
yeah, and Paul Robinson is a 2.5 of 4. And it's interesting that he is the Saturdays return man when UCLA has a 5 of 5 speed wide receiver.
Well, you
Well,
don't
guys-
need him at Paul
guys
Robinson
have,
doing this shit.
We've got to remember as well that like guys will have like hidden, like
Yeah.
we don't see all their attributes. So like the best receiver might not be the best returner. Like they may be
Yeah,
an
and
amazing returner.
apparently D-Stack made a great decision putting Paul Robinson as his return man because that dude has some wheels. He took a couple to the house today.
Is he short?
He's 5'11", 160. All
That's
of their
pretty
receivers.
average.
They have
He's
3
light.
speed receivers. They have a 5'11", 181, 5'9", 170, and 5'11", 160.
And you got to
receivers.
think after playing special teams like he is, he's going to get a progression to the 4-4 by next season.
Oh yeah, I think he'll probably be their second best receiver behind George Lewis
I
next
think
year.
Artemio only went up 1 with 3 return touchdowns last year and like 2 receiving touchdowns, something like that.
Well, he didn't have 3 in a single game though.
Sure.
Like,
He had 2
All right.
this game. I mean, how many has he had on the season?
all right,
Hold
Yeah,
on.
who-
Did the next game come in?
we are moving into West Lafayette, Indiana. Yes. So what do you have to say?
Okay.
And we are here to watch Nebraska at Purdue.
Here we go.
Nebraska is 1-2 on the season with losses to Missouri and Oklahoma.
Yep.
Nebraska
In West
leads.
Lafayette against the Purdue Boilermakers, who are 2-1 with a loss to Notre Dame last week. All right, we enter the first quarter here, and Nebraska has the ball in Purdue territory, but it's 4th down, and Zach Murphy is lining up to kick the field goal. The snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good. 32-yard field goal, and Nebraska takes an early 3-0 lead.
Go.
Later in the first quarter, Purdue has the ball on the Nebraska 3-yard line. Corey Mendoza takes a snap and hands it off to the fullback Milo Barrett, who is in for the 3-yard touchdown for Purdue. With 3 minutes and 35 seconds, they take a 7-3 lead, and that is the end of the first quarter. Now, Nebraska has the ball, punts it away to Jesse Scott for Purdue. The punter takes the snap, kicks it deep, and Jesse Scott takes this ball. He's going to run it out of the end zone. He's got it at the 20, the 30, the 40. He cuts back. He's got it at the 50, the 40. He's one man to beat, and he is gone for the punt return for touchdown for Jesse Scott, 100 yards. And after a booming 42-yard punt by the Nebraska punter, he takes it all the way back to the house, and Purdue takes a 14-3 lead. Later in the second quarter, Purdue has the ball with 1:12 left. They're rushing down the field trying to get one last score in. They have the ball at the Nebraska 22-yard line. Corey Mendoza takes the snap, looks to throw. He has Joshua Bowen in the end zone, and he has a touchdown, 22-yard touchdown to Joseph Bowen. With 1:12 left in the second quarter, Purdue leads 21-3, and that is your halftime score.
Uh-oh.
The results have been
Oh, God.
posted, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the thread.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going. Then. With 9 minutes and 27 seconds left, Sean Hamilton takes a snap and throws a touchdown to Taylor Eifert. Nebraska is only down 21-10. With 4 minutes, 40 seconds left, Mark Kirchbaum hits a 39-yard field goal for Purdue. With 30 seconds left in the quarter, Sean Hamilton throws a touchdown to Rashad Azuma. And Nebraska at the end of the third is down 24-17. Into the fourth quarter, Purdue kicks a 27-yard field goal with 11 minutes 13 seconds left to take a 10-point lead. Tom Simonton has a 5-yard touchdown run for Nebraska with 8:14 left. Corey Mendoza throws an interception to Carl Sylvester with 5:58 left. Nebraska takes the lead on a Sean Hamilton to Tom Simonton touchdown pass, 20-yard touchdown pass with 3:26 left. Take a 31-27 lead. Purdue has a 12-yard touchdown run by Joseph Bowen with 57 seconds left to take a 34-31 lead. And Anthony Foster gets the game-sealing interception with 25 seconds left for Purdue. And
That's a shame, because that was a really good game to call as well.
Yeah, Purdue nearly Purdue's, but...
I told you... No, wait, I had it the other way around, didn't I? Oh, well. Purdue did fucking... They did what they always do, but this time they actually pulled their ass out of the fire.
Guys, I won my game.
We know. We don't care.
We still have...
We're still waiting for points to be scored in Eugene.
We still have Notre Dame at USC if we want to go through...
Nah, it's been posted. Let everybody else see it as it goes.
We can discuss it, though, because that is our game of the night.
It looks like... Taking a look at it, looks like Notre Dame pulled it off.
Pack.
Yeah, Pack goes down.
I think
the shameful 2-2, and I'm telling you guys, it's because the Twins have just lost their smile, they've lost their love for the site.
Yeah,
they just don't coach as well as they used to.
It's interesting.
The downfall here was Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas threw 2 interceptions, which led to scores by Notre Dame.
Yeah, Rocky Waters is back at quarterback even after Brian Stratton's ridiculous performance last week.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put him back in there for chemistry purposes.
But I mean, the chemistry was already lost after he...
Is it lost if a team member is injured but comes back? I don't know
think
about
it is. I think you dropped twice. I'm not sure though.
No, we'll have to get a final ruling on that one.
Looks like some people weren't listening to the Gamecast, or just viewing the results now, but that is an exciting group of night games. Do we have much more to discuss, or should we just?
I think we should just cut it off. We went over the games. Nobody really gave us any good ideas to go over anything extracurricular, and we've been on long enough.
Give us good ideas for next week, guys. Come on.
No, I think it was a good week. It's game day, though.
We might just have to start doing this. I'll start posting idea threads again, but this seemed to go pretty well.
Are we all fair?
I didn't know we were going. Otherwise, I would have, put more effort. But I was late to the party.
Yep. Overall, it was a good game day. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Shutting down game day from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. This is bitch pudding of the of the Oklahoma City.
Of the Chicago.
We're now the fighting Chicago Tads.
Of the Chicago Tads.
Good night, fuckers.
See you.